Hello everyone, how are you today? It's Sharon Hankins here live again with you on Essential Stencil's page. But I am from the blog I Restore Stuff, and I love to upcycle and thrift, especially home decor and furniture. And if you can't already tell, my accent is from Australia, so that's where I'm coming to you live from here on a Thursday morning, but it's Wednesday night there in the USA. So welcome, and let me know where you're tuning in from, where you're watching from. If you're watching me live, don't forget to stay till the end, because we do have giveaways for 3 lucky winners of a $20 gift card with Essential Stencil. Hi Lisa, Gail, Kathy. How are you, Kathy? Thanks for saying hello. Also, if you do want to share, you can do that right now and then jump right back in. There's a little button down there where you could do that. Hi from California, Christy. And Mary's here, Letty's here. Okay, so I'm going to just find my page over here so I can refresh our Essential Stencil page and see the live comments while I'm working on the project. We're going to be doing some winter transfers today, the brand new ones. There's 2 sets of the winter transfers and the Stencil of the Month Club for January. So as you know, the ambassadors go live every month to show you our Stencil of the Month Club set for the following month, so you can have a look, share it with your friends, let people know that they can join the club anytime. But if you join within that week, I think it's the 14th to the 20th, this is the set you'll be getting, is the next month's set. Good evening, Janine, thanks for saying hello. Isabel, Jan's here, amazing. Okay, just checking our comments, and there we go. And if you notice, Essential Stencil always pins the description of the live, which contains all of the links that you'll need for today's live. If you use my code I Restore Stuff at Essential Stencil and stencilofthemonthclub.com, if you go to the Stencil of the Month Club, you will get your basic plan a free month, and for the premium plan, you'll get half price for the premium plan. If you are just purchasing the transfers today or anything from essentialstencil.com, you can save 10% using my code I Restore Stuff. So that's the code that you need to remember. No matter which checkout you're at, you can go and do that there. Thank you so much for jumping on and saying hello, everybody. All right, let me just show you, if you haven't seen already, although I do think our ambassador's been showing you all this week the new winter transfer sets. And I've had a little sneak try at one of them this morning, because I am going to be using those on a project. So this one is called Winter Pines and Critters. Comes with 2 beautiful sheets, and I can show you those. Aren't they adorable? Look at this cute little hedgehog here. Rabbits, the cute little rabbits by the fence, squirrel, pine trees. And then the next one sheet has a bunch of pine trees, and you can see where I've cut out pine cones there for another project. I'll show you a peek of that in a minute. And then the second lot of transfers, so each transfer set comes with 2 sheets. This is Winter Woodland Friends. So these are adorable too, and I'll be using one of these for a sign today. I wonder if you can guess which one. So there's lots of beautiful deer or elk or moose, whatever you'd like to call them. I don't know exactly the difference between all of those animals. I need to study that a little bit more. There's some cardinals, gorgeous owl, and again, more pine cones. And look at the holly berries. Beautiful. So those are the ones that you can find at the link that I've left there in the description of the live. Excuse me. Okay, and now to show you the Stencil of the Month Club set. So our Stencil of the Month Club set comes in 2 different sizes. So there's the premium plan, which includes a whole bunch of extras, and it's a lot larger, and the basic set, or the basic plan, which will get you a smaller set of stencils with 3 smaller lots and just elements of the premium design. Okay, so let me show you the premium design first, which also you have the option of getting an add-on, and you can purchase the add-on. You just have to hit the add-on button when you go to join. So that's, you subscribe for that at stencilofthemonthclub.com. There's the add-on. Beautiful leaves. What kind of, it's a spring leaf pattern. I don't know if they look like a little bit of eucalyptus, or they could be flower buds. I saw Melissa use those yesterday. Absolutely beautiful, for backgrounds of your signs. And now this is the Stencil of the Month Club set for January 2025, our first one for the year. Beautiful spring designs. So there you can see an example of how they've used it. There goes my washing machine finishing. Can you hear that in the background? Anyone else's washing machine make the same song? Okay, beautiful truck and I've got these upside down, and a bucket and a jar, mason jar. So these you can interchange and use all of the rest of the set. So there's 3 large 16 by 12 inch pages of stencils included, all included. Okay, so we've got the beehive, we've got some honeycomb there, some cute little sayings, home sweet home. And so there's that sheet. And then this one has beautiful stems and some flowers and butterflies and some more sayings. We've got fresh market, and then we've got all of the beautiful herb, let's say, oh, basil. Yes, we've got all the herbs written there as well. So they'd be great. And another little bee design. Okay, so that's on that sheet. And I will show you, maybe I'll show you that now. So all the different ways you can use this. You can add the stems. I think they're dried lavender, aren't they? You can add them into the bucket and make that, or you can add them into the jar. This is tricky to show you. Add them into the jar. You can also add the flowers into the bucket, so they fit on that too. I might show you that in a minute when I've got the stencils down and we're working on them. I'll show you the basic plan. Now the basic set has 3 stencils that are 6 by 8 inches. And so depending, hello everyone. Hi Melissa, hi Maggie, hi Rosalia. Brenda's here. Your dryer sings too, Brenda says. Yeah, there goes mine, just singing a little song. Now in the basic set, you do have the truck, which is great. You do get 3 sheets, but you can see they're a lot smaller and there are only certain elements from that larger design here. So you've got the truck, you've got the beehive, which does work with the truck. Let me see if I can show you on a dark background. We've got the truck, and then I believe you could put the hive over the top of the truck like this, and you'll see all the bees flying around. So you use a different color. You can layer them on top of each other, whoops, like that. And then you've got this cute beehive sign with the word beehive, and then a little round design on that. Now that's the basic plan. And one thing that I did notice is the little beehive on the basic set is actually slightly larger than the little bee design on the premium set. So some of you I know get both. So I just wanted to show you the difference there between the 2 sizes. Can you see that? So the one on the premium set is just slightly smaller than the one on the basic set. But the basic set, obviously, you get less elements on that. Okay, let me just see which one I was going to use today. I was going to use the basic set there. So many different things I could use from the Stencil of the Month Club design. Let me just point you down to some other things that I'm working on today. One of the things is I'm going to be putting one of the transfers on here. Will I use it this way or will I use it this way? Might give you a clue as to how I might be using that. And then I picked up this, you know I love a good thrifting story, so I picked up this little gift box. It's almost like a hat box, but a lot smaller, and it's made out of some kind of wood. I feel like it's balsa wood or something it's just so light, and it has little joins both on here and on the lid. But it just is so cute, and I thought, yeah, let's get that. So I opened it up. It was maybe $3 or less. It was so inexpensive. And they're the kind of thing that you use for craft and paint them. So I wasn't worried about, if you'll see when I take the lid off, this outside one has faded, or it's discolored because of, I don't know, being in the weather. But when you're painting these, you wouldn't see that. See how the difference in the color? So then I opened it up and there's another one inside. So I opened that and they just kept going. Then I opened this one and then this one was inside. Now I have painted this one, so you can see the difference now that I've painted it white. So it came with, so let's see, 1, 2, there's 3, and then there was another one inside. 4, and I've done this one earlier to show you a little sneak peek using one of the winter transfer. Remember I said I'd cut out some pine cones and I added a little ribbon on the front. So there's an example of something that we could use that for. And so it came with altogether 5 of these cute little nesting gift boxes, I would call them. So great idea. I do have a link for my Amazon affiliate link for all the things that you would use for stenciling and sign making. I have a great link there. If you would like that, let me know in the comments. Because I found they weren't this wood, they were the paper mache nesting boxes, and they all had like 5 or 6 in those as well. So if you do need that, let me know and I will, yes, the nesting boxes. Let me comment that right here in my, I'll just send that now. You can see that coming from Sharon Hankins. If you see that comment going up with my Amazon link there, that's what that is. For those nesting boxes I found there. So the ones that I've painted, I just painted the 3 smallest ones. So let's start with this one here. And you know what it was perfect for? It was perfect for adding that little bee design from the Stencil of the Month Club set for January. So let's get started on that one, and we'll add the little bee design on here. Point the camera down so that we can get started and get looking at what we're working on. And there's my code to remind you. I restore stuff. So we've got our hat box. Now I can take the lid off there, and you could put something around. I did a ribbon on this one, but you could add some kind of stencils or transfers around the bottom of the base of it as well. I didn't paint the inside. You could, but I think it's fine just like that, if especially you're going to put little wrapped olives, or wrapped olives. I saw the word how is olive, and my mind got distracted. Olive is fine. She's in her little crate in my room right now, so hopefully we won't hear her barking too loudly today. Little gift wrap, so you could plastic wrap some candy or some home baked goodies in some of these things for a gift idea. So here is my little, oh look, that's the one from the large set. Now where's my mini set? Here it is. I'm going to use this one because it just is slightly larger from the basic set, and it fits perfectly on this round surface. Okay, there is no room to tape this today because even if I try to put tape underneath, it's going to be pretty tricky. So I've got my offloading cardboard ready. If you've never stenciled before, well, let me know that in the comments, will you? If you've never stenciled before, brand new to stenciling, give us a hello. And don't forget to join in the comments because we love to give away prizes at the end of our lives. I'm going to just tape this little bee's wings at each end here so that I don't accidentally paint the bee, because what I'm going to do is some greenery, and then we'll do the bee yellow in the center. How do you like that idea? And then we'll get onto some transfers in a minute. Hi, Joyce Ann. If she barks, she's just exercising her lungs. I know, but I have had some comments of people's dogs are hearing it and they're getting a little annoyed. So I thought it's probably better if we just put her away. It's only an hour. She's had a good run around the house, and she does sleep a lot during the day, so she's fine. It's her little safe place. Okay, so offloading the green that I've just got from the lid there. Now this is Fusion Mineral Paint Color Pressed Fern. There's the color right there. So if you ever forget what color I've said, you can always go back and watch the replay, and I usually hold up that color so you can screenshot that or whatever. Okay, making sure I've got all those little leaves in. Now my brush is quite dry. I can just do a little swirling motion around the outsides of the stencil to get this green. And we're just starting to run out from on the brush now, so I'll grab another bit more. So the base coat that I used for these is I used what we call a transition color. And so if you are painting something that's wood or dark wood and you want to transition to a light color, then it's a good idea. Oh, I don't know if I've offloaded that well. If you want to transition to a lighter color like white, then you can use the Fusion's transition, and it's sort of just an off-white color that helps with that, and it's a cheaper paint. So you're kind of using that instead of your good coats of your good quality, your good colours. That's all good quality, the fusion paints. But then I added some raw silk colour on top of that. So raw silk is just a slightly off-white colour. So there we've got, oh wow, that little bee stuck in the middle. There we've got a cute wreath. Now that would look perfect just by itself, don't you think? If you added some little dobs of red down there, you'd have yourself a little holly leaf wreath or something like that. I guess the leaves aren't exactly holly, probably more eucalyptus or something along those lines. But yeah, there's my wreath. And then I should have just left it on there. I'll pop this in a wet cloth to just hold it from getting dry. And I'm going to use this, and I will tape over just those leaves. Oh, where is it? Right next to the bee's wings, which are probably the areas that I'd most likely accidentally hit if I was painting the bee. And then I can pop that back straight down where it was. It probably doesn't matter too much as long as the bee was in the center. Oh, where did it go? I thought I had the bee. Oh, so you know what? I didn't know which way I had the bee. I probably had it this way. And that's fine too. Let's have a look. Oh, but the back, so I would like to point out the join in the lid is here. So I'd probably rather use that as the back. So because I had my bee taped over, I didn't see that it was maybe upside down. So my leaves, now that I've got them on, are going to be a little bit different position. But I'm going to just pop this down here, right there, because that's about the center. And then we're going to get our yellow. So for the yellow, I've got Fusion Mineral Paint in the colour Little Star. It would make a pretty Christmas wreath. Yes. And we just need a smaller brush. I'm not sure, I always forget to check if the brushes are back in stock, but maybe somebody might know that if you've been there recently. But the brushes come in a set of 4 stencil brushes, 4 different sizes. And they are really perfect for laying down your stencils. Now that should have got all the sides, but all over. I don't think it has. Okay. I can hear outside the children in the park that's across the road from us. And it is school holidays here. We call what you would call vacation, we just call it school holidays. And oh, that's pretty. It's very cute. Now I could probably put some black behind it to make that bee stand out a little better, but you get the idea. That's very cute. Yeah, so we have, because it's summer here in Australia, this is our this is our summer vacation. So we all talk about Christmas holidays and the kids all being off school for Christmas holidays. Well, they started their holidays like probably a week ago, and then we have 6 to 8 weeks with the kids all off school, because it's just like your summer vacation over there. Yes, and so it's quite hot here. The seasons are all opposite, so we're sort of all opposite. Even our financial year is different to the USA. In Australia, our financial year ends on the 30th of June and starts on the 1st of July, whereas I know yours goes from January to December. So interesting how the different ways that countries work. So there's my offloading cardboard. I don't need that for the rest of this, but there is a cute idea, and we can sit that right here on the box, let that dry. And here's another one that I did before. I could add a ribbon to the sides of that. I did grab a few different ribbon options. So you'd pick something that might be similar to that green. This is a cute little checkered ribbon. On this one, it's kind of, I don't know if you can see that. What do you call that? Organza. It's a sweet little organza, which I felt like it's more that sagey color, which really lent to go well with the pine needles, pine things. All right, I'll pop that aside for a second, and I'll see if I get a chance to do any of the other Stencil of the Month Club designs. But don't you love all these sayings? I was going to show you. I'll pop this one ready to clean. Just by laying it on the black background, it's probably a bit easier to show you here. So with the truck, you could add these flowers to the truck, at the back of the truck. They fit perfectly there, with even the butterflies on top. Looks great. You can also add the flowers to the top of the bucket, because they perfectly fit just inside the bucket here. So can you see that? This is the Stencil of the Month Club January 2025 design. So look at that. They'll look great there. You can even have the butterflies sitting above your bucket. Let's see. Then the jar, these beautiful, I guess they would be lavender coming out of the jar there like that. And now the bee design fits perfectly. And this is probably the reason why they made this one slightly smaller than the one we just used for the basic set. It fits perfectly on the jar as a little design for the front of that, or on the bucket. So look at that. Perfectly fits on the bucket. So you've got so many different fun things. You could add, you know, some of these sayings to the bucket, the herbs. Also, market fresh is great. That would even, I think I tried this just placement wise. Yeah, it probably doesn't fit on there. But I love hand-picked daily, even fits like on the side of the truck. I don't know if there's a way that you could make that sign say that. But you've got honey and herbs, so that's made so that we can fit the word honey in here. Market fresh honey, see that? Market fresh honey or market fresh herbs, and you put the little wording right inside there. So I can't wait to use some more of that. And of course you've got all of these signs, which I forgot about this bit. So if you look at the buckets again, we've got the beehives. The hive could even come out of the bucket and come across like this, or the hive can come out of the truck, just like in the basic set, and you see all the bees and things coming off the side of the truck, which is absolutely adorable as well. We've got Home Sweet Home, that could fit on the jars like so, or we've got honeybees and flowers please, fits perfectly in the bucket, and as well as fresh local honey, and it also fits on the jars. So many fun ideas from that. You could even put I worked out a way you can even put the hive as a design on the bucket as well. There you go. You can hear Olive barking, but at least she's at a little distance now, barking at the mailman coming past. Okay, so my board that I was going to show you today, I'm going to be, yes, she's speaking to the mailman, Joyce Ann, letting them know I'm in here. Letting us know actually that they've arrived. All right, don't forget my code is right here, I Restore Stuff. Now that's for your Stencil of the Month Club set that I've just been showing you. And also you can use this same code and get 10% off at essentialstencil.com, and the link is there in the comments for our beautiful winter transfer designs. Now I used the little pine cone out of this set for on my wood box. And I'm going to use this. Oh, I love it. This gorgeous, what is that? A deer. I say it's a deer. A deer? Okay, so I'm going to cut carefully around this design. There, if you can see really closely, the pine cones here, just be careful not to cut. There's white on white. It's really difficult to see, but as you're cutting, there's a little bit of white snow that goes around these pine cones. And so you might be able to see just the edge of that white snow there. So make sure you cut around that to the side of it. And then we're going to see around this holly and berries. See, I love the way that Essential Stencil will just add these little tiny details in the spaces. So you've got even more things, more options of designs to choose from. And I'm not sure if you can see this down the bottom of this deer with the birch trees. There is some snow down there as well. So we've just got to get right in between the snow and the birds. Look at that. Aren't they gorgeous little birds? You can see those being used on a branch. The other one I love is this deer head with the two cardinals sitting on the antlers. Aren't they adorable? Did anyone order theirs yet? They're right there at the link in the comments. You can even go and do that now if you wanted to. I'm not sure how many they have left of these all, but so often they order in a bunch of transfers, and then some of them are just super popular and disappear. All right, so I've seen that it's around about the length of my design here, and I will get some snow will go off either side, or you could tuck it around the edges, but I don't think it matters. It's going to be sort of white on white, but the birch trees will just finish at the top here. Let me see, we may get a few branches up there, so I might just move it across slightly this way. And what I wanted to do was add a bit of a stencil word from that Stencil of the Month Club set. If I can find that. Home Sweet Home. And I know that, Home Sweet Home, you could use it for the honeybee because it's sweet. But hey, I still think Home Sweet Home would be perfect for a home sign, or just like a welcome home sign in your entryway or something like that. So I think that'll fit nicely down the side. So with our Essential Stencil transfer sets, we've got our transfer tool that you can get from Essential Stencil as well, or you could use, I like these because you've got a handle, you've got a little hook to hold them, hang them up in your tool shop, workshop. So now this is quite a long one, or what I was going to say was you can just use a store card or something like that. I'm going to start down the bottom, and I want to make sure that I've got it in place. So what I could do is just add a bit of painter's tape. Oops. To a couple of sections up here so that it doesn't move. Okay, have you ever used painter's tape for your transfers? Because it's a large one, I want to make sure it's not going to go anywhere. And I'll just remove a part at a time. So what I'm going to do is fold this part back, or you could do this and just cut it off. So what I'll do, just grabbing this section here, excuse me, sit down. Oh, there we go. Just going to cut this along the bottom. So see, I've cut half that off so that we've still got this here and it's in place with the tape. It's not going to move anywhere. You can use this method for your larger transfers as well, like, you know, the train one or the Frosty the Snowman ones that came out at Christmas time. And then we just start to, you can see my snow has just gone a little bit over the edge here, and that's okay. It'll just stay on the transfer, or you could tuck it around the side, but it doesn't matter if it just comes off. I love all the trees and the transfers too. Aspen trees are my favorite. Is that what they're called? Aspen trees. I was calling them birch trees. Is that not correct? Okay, so I've painted my board the same color I was painting these little round boxes in Fusion Mineral Paint color Raw Silk. Now we just pull away the plastic once we've rubbed the transfer, and we get the pretty picture left behind. I'm not sure if you'll see the snow on white, but that doesn't matter because the main picture or image is the trees and the deer, and that's the main part we want to stand out. So you're just mainly rubbing all over the image, and you can kind of see when it comes off whether there's any bits attached. So you can see this little bit here is still attached. That's the bit that was hanging over the edge. So Brenda, you've been using the snowman transfers. How cute. Are they the snow globes? There's some snow globe transfers that are cute too, with the snowman in it. Oh, someone just said it looks like a face embedded in the tree next to the deer. I don't see it. Maybe you can see it somewhere in the tree branches or something. It's funny how we see these things in different odd shapes. It's like looking at clouds and kind of finding images in the clouds, isn't it? Oh, diamond dust for the snow. That's a great idea. Snowtex. Vic says Snowtex would be beautiful on this. Now, I have not seen Snowtex. I wonder, I'm going to have to look that up. I've not used that. And I wonder if I can get it in Australia. That's the thing. We do have a lot of things over here, but sometimes there's products that maybe I can order it in from Amazon or somewhere. Oh, now we're up to this part where I still had, oh, it's like a little bit of dirty snow down the bottom. Okay, or a shadow. Now I'm up to this part, this section, where I can take off the tape now. Got half my design down. Someone else can see the face. It does look like a face. Oh, I'll have to go have another look. Are you talking about this section here? Because I'm doing this upside down, maybe I can't see it. All right, so just peeling off the other half, and then we can just lay this down. And we can continue with rubbing our transfer on the wood. Into the woods we go. Isn't that looking beautiful? You can add a little something. We could also add a scripture verse up here, and it could, you know, it doesn't matter if your stencil, word stencil, goes over the trees as well. That would be beautiful. Or it could be beautiful just like that, left alone and by itself. Totally up to you how you would do it. Yes, that section, Joyce Ann said. Okay, I'll have to see that face. I'll have to turn it up the other way so I can see it. Just gently lifting this up, making sure all the branches stay down, especially these twigs out to the side. I think sometimes those little tiny fine areas. There we go. Almost there. And then, so I can turn this around. You can see my twigs just go off the end slightly here. That's okay. We'll just kind of go like this and it'll cut them off. And then the rest stays on. And there we go, all finished. And I can smooth that down if there's any little bits that went over the edge. Smooth those down. But what a beautiful winter transfer design. I do love it just like this on the board. Isn't that gorgeous? Looks really arty. And then if you wanted to, you could add your, oh, where is it? Oh, Home Sweet Home on the side here. Now for the colour, for the wording, I was thinking I would love to, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to place the wording halfway between here and the top, in this section here. You could put it all the way at the top if you wanted to. I feel like it would look nice just kind of halfway through there. So we'll find a spot for it, and then I'll choose the colour. Bring it in a little bit close. We don't want it too close to the edge. Possibly is going to run a little bit next to that. Now I don't want to place this tape on the transfer that's just laid down. I don't want it to peel up the transfer, so I'm just making sure I get a little space there. I wanted to use, Fusion has this lovely, they've got this colour Oakum, which is a really dark grey-green. Or there's this colour Cast Iron. Now it's a black, but it's sort of an off black. A true black would be coal black. This is coal black, and this is cast iron. So if you imagine a cast iron skillet, that's this colour, and it's just slightly off black. You have off-white, you can have off-black. Okay, getting a little 1/2 inch brush because they're very tiny words here. The other thing you can do with your tape is just curl it over. Just going to put a little bit underneath here to make sure it's going to stay in place on this side. Just trying to get it as flat as you can. And then we get our offloading cardboard. Yeah, it's not quite brown. It's like a dark, dark, dark grey black. Okay, so dipping that into my cast iron, offloading it on the side of my pot, and then rubbing it into the bristles and offloading a lot of the paint. It is a really pretty colour. It's quite popular for furniture to give it a nice dark, but not quite black. It's almost a charcoal look. Okay, I've run out already. Just grab a little bit that was on the side and offload it again, work it into the bristles. Oh, run out again. Another little bit. A blue background would be nice too, Christy said. Yes, absolutely. I think it would too. Like a midnight blue, even like it's the very night time. Then you've got that snow on the ground. I'm not getting enough paint on my brush. It's better to have not enough than too much, okay? Because if you have too much, it'll bleed under the stencil and you'll get fuzzy edges, and we want nice crisp edges. So that's how we keep that going on. All right, so this is again from the Stencil of the Month Club set for next month, which is January 2025. Can you believe we're talking about next year already? Okay, so I'm going to move this off. There's my little tape I'd curled under there. And then we've got our cute home sweet home. Now, if you do want to, anytime you want to add to those bridges, so you know our stencils have to have bridges, like the O has a gap here and a gap here. If you do want to join those together, don't forget we do have some small detail brushes. These come in a set of 5, is it 5 or 6? And you can find them, just look up, search brushes at essentialstencil.com. You can fill in those if you wanted to, or you can leave it looking like that nice stenciled look. But use my code, I restore stuff. Don't forget to use that when you're going on there, and you can save buckaroos. Okay, isn't that adorable? I love it. A little sweet home. Like I said before, you could just leave that off, or you could use a big scripture verse that we've got in some of the other mini stencil sets. Lots of ideas you could use for this one. So we've just done a nice white background. So then that's cute. It can hang up or be a leaner on the mantle, something like that. All right, I do have one box left that I could paint the top of or put a transfer on. So we've got some options for that since we've got a little bit of time left. So let's have a look at some of these other things on our, let's see, our beehive would fit perfectly on this too. The bees would fit perfectly on this, coming off the edge there. That would look cute. Or even a hive here, or honey, bees, and flowers, please. So many cute little sayings. Fresh local honey. Absolutely beautiful. Now on the sides of your boxes, you could do something like stenciling this, or we could add bees down to the sides. So even if we did have this lid on here and the honey hive coming up, the hive coming like this, you could add the bees to down the sides there. So let's have a go at doing that. I think that would be cute. So we'll do the lid first. Again, there's just so much on the Stencil of the Month Club set for this month that you could use it for. And this hive, again, if you've missed it before, it does fit on these large items that come with the Stencil of the Month set. You could add it inside the jar, the hive with bees coming out. You could add it on the pot, or you could add it on the truck with the bees or coming out the side. So many fun options. So let's add that. Put it in the center, I think. And because there's a gap here, no, that's what I want to be stenciling. Sharon, what are you doing? I'll have to curl this one up again. And we can just stick that there. Could even stick one down on this side. So maybe we could do a little bit of a shadowing, because if you look at the last bee we did, if I hold it back here, the bee doesn't stand out as well as the greenery around it. But so one way we can do that, because we're using white, I could even use that cast iron color as a little bit of a shadow for in the background of our bees, and then go over it with the yellow. But maybe I don't want something so dark. I don't know. We'll do that. And I might not even use very much of this. In fact, I've got this wet cloth here that I've got my brushes in. I'm just going to dampen that slightly. And we're going to create just a small shadow. And this will just help it to stand out. I'm not adding more of this on the brush. I'm just creating a bit of a shadowy area. Woo. So that when we do our bees yellow, we'll shift it slightly and they'll stand out a bit better. So see that I didn't add any anything but just a dab of damp cloth. So it's slightly damp. I'm going to grab the yellow brush that I used before. And I'll show you. Here's the shadow. So this is just going to be a bit of a shadow in the background. And then I'm going to move my design slightly up and slightly across. So we lay it right down. We line it up perfectly and then we shift it slightly up, slightly across, and then you can just pop it down again. So I'll show you that I probably shifted it too much, because those little lines of the beehive are quite small. Thin is what I want to say. They're thin lines. Okay, just there. I'll show you that, lift it up so you can kind of see what I've done. Moved it slightly up and slightly across, sort of like a shadow would fall this way, and we put it up that way. Where's my yellow? Here it is. Now, because this has got, I probably should just dry that. Usually I would wipe this off. Hi Janet, yes, Janet's saying I haven't got these yet. These are the Stencil of the Month Club for January, so you will get them, if you're a member of the Stencil of the Month Club, you will get them next month. Right now you should have your December one. This is the code you'll need if you haven't joined the Stencil of the Month Club, and you get 50% off this first month of this design, or you can get a full month free with the basic plan. Now the basic plan it has only certain elements of it. It does have a smaller beehive. See the size difference? So this is the basic mini plan. This is the premium plan. Okay. And then the transfers, you can get them anytime. They're right now available to order on essentialstencil.com. The Stencil of the Month Club is stencilofthemonthclub.com. All right, we've done a bunch of yellow on our brush. I've offloaded the excess on there. Now we're going to go into this center part of the beehive. I need to add a little bit more. We'll add a blob down here. I don't know if we can see that where I'm offloading. Just try and shift this across slightly. Sometimes you like to see the offloading as well, so you can see how I do it. Just taking that off the brush. Now little bees. I want to make sure that yellow, because yellow is a really translucent colour, the black kind of covers really well, but sometimes the yellow is fairly translucent and we'll need to do a couple of coats. So we'll just see how that turns out. If it doesn't stand out as well, we can go over with a second coat. I've got plenty of yellow over here on my pile of stuff. Hi Kathy, thanks for saying hello. The basic plan doesn't have any words. Let me see. We've got 1, 2, it does have words. It's got the beehive. Okay, so it simply says the beehive. That's the basic plan, has that wording on it. So yeah, you don't have all the other herbs or anything like that. It's mainly got the bee bits. Yes, the stencil of the month club for December you should have already, or if it's not shipped to you yet and you are a member, then it'll be on its way. Just check your tracking or whatever they send you. All right, I think that's beautiful. I might just add a little bit more to the inside of this section. Let's see how that looks. Okay, so see, it adds a little bit of depth. You can just see that shadow outline there compared to our lid where we did a bumblebee in the middle, but it doesn't have that dark shadow behind it. So it does make it pop and stand out a little bit more with a bit of a shadow in the background. So let's see if we can roll this to the side. How can we do the sides of this? I might have to add the lid on to do this. So I'm lining up the back seams. And it probably doesn't matter if it doesn't line up perfectly, but let's see, here's this butterfly here, there was the dot. So we could go like this. Oh, now I'm out of the shot. All right, I'm just putting it right down here and I will try my best to add some tape to tape it down. And I might have to do the lid first so I can see the lid. And again, I'm going to use this wet cloth, dampen that charcoal colour. To use as a bit of a background for our bees. Oh. Because the lid lifts this area slightly, I might take the lid off to do these in a minute. I don't know how tricky this is to do upside down and back to front. Okay, I think those are the only parts that are actually on the lid. And we're going to shift it up and slightly across. Too much. Oh, can't shift it too much. Okay, we're nearly there. There we go. I'll try and do the yellow. Just dampening that down a bit. And I'll hold it down with my hand here. It's a little tricky, challenging, this one. Doing it on the side of a round container. Have you ever done that before? Let me know if you've done it before. Yeah, hopefully it looks like they're buzzing up over the lid. That's the aim. I'm kind of doing this a bit of a stretch. Now I've got to try and match up this bee with the inside. Okay, so it's looking good so far. So we've got the side happening. Now let's take the lid off, and hopefully a little bit got on there enough to where I need to get some more of this on that coal black brush. No, it's a cast iron. Yes, so I did have a little bit of overshoot, So I should hopefully be able to line up this where those were. There was the bee there. I'll get it lined up and then I'll show you. Okay. Look, it's going to be a case of let's just give it a go. Oh my goodness. I can't tell where that was. Yeah, let's just put it there. So now we've got that part, and let's tape up. Good to put a little bit of tape under here and roll it around. Okay, so now it's sitting a little bit more flat and we can do the entire piece there. Now I do have to try and do this with one hand and a few fingers. It is a hard surface to stencil on, Shelley, yes. Now this is just going to be the shadow, and I'm offloading just a little bit here on the cardstock. And now when you take the lid off, obviously this is going to be underneath the lid, that bit. Oh, looks like we've got bees. You could even go right round the bottom of the container, but I don't know if anyone's going to be looking down there, so we'll just probably stick to the top part. And remember, we're going to be just using this colour as a shadow. I've got to be really gentle too, because I feel like this container, it's the type of wood that's really quite fragile. I don't want to crack it. Okay, so there's that charcoaly, no, I keep calling it charcoal. It's cast iron by Fusion Mineral Paint. So if you've not used that colour before, it's quite, it's an off black, I would call it. And now, dampening my yellow, dipping it in, a little bit more wet yellow on here. Oh, thank you, Gina. Okay, so I'm going to lift that up and slightly shift it. Slightly shift it. What did I do? Up and across. We'll do our best. Up and across. There we go. Slightly shifted, and then we'll just go over with that yellow. All right, so this yellow is, oops, I just heard a crack. I hope I haven't ruined my box. Could be gentle not to press too hard. The ones that I shared with you earlier, I shared the link for the Amazon affiliate link for the boxes, the nesting boxes that are circular, round, that I found on Amazon. And I've shared that link in there. So those ones were made from paper mache. So they're not, they're probably even a little bit more sturdy, because this one here is a little bit, it just feels very like veneer. I don't know if you know, familiar with wood veneer, but the, almost like a, not bamboo, like a balsa wood or something. It could even just be like a really light pine. Let's see how our bees turned out. Now that could do with an extra coat of the yellow, because I can still see some of the black through. But I think it's enough to just, did you hear that great sigh? It's a great sigh of relief. Okay, so let's see how that turned out. I just love this spring stencil of the month club set. So then you just line up your bees. Well, if I line up, see my back seams, I lined up the seam with the lid. If I line that up properly, if all goes well, it should line up with those bees on the side. So let's have a look. We'll put our hat on. Put our lid on. See if that lines up. Yes, we will make it line up. There you go. How's that? We did it, guys. And then you could add some little words onto the bottom of that. You could even, let's see, there's some little words here. Fresh, local, and then honey down the bottom. That would fit perfectly. Let's do it. Let's do that real quick. Now I will just delete, but you know what I mean. Cover up the bees because we've already got lots of bees. So, and we are just using the words at the top and words at the bottom. I need another little bit. There it is. Okay, fresh local honey. So we can add that. This is from the January's Stencil of the Month Club set. And I will use that cast iron colour. I will use that for the words. That should work out perfectly. Just dampening it. I wouldn't normally dampen the Fusion Mineral paint, but that is my container is getting, the paint is getting quite dry. Okay, so fresh, local, and then honey. Let's do honey first down the bottom. There we go. Just fits. Let's see. Trying to get my hive straight. Yeah, the honey, the H will have to come up into the beehive, but that's okay. So getting that in position. And just wriggling that paint around until, just remember, hardly anything on your brush is the key to good stenciling, good crisp lines, and nice crisp words. I just need slightly a bit more because my brush isn't, my paint's quite dry, it's not getting into. Oh, it would be fun to put a little jar of honey inside, wouldn't it? I have seen the cutest little tinsy, you know, those tinsy little, almost like little sampler honey jars. They would be so cute. We do have family who have hives, and when their kids have gotten married, they've used the little jar of honey as a favour for the wedding. You know, the wedding, the reception, the tables at the reception. They've used that for a favour. So, such a cute idea. There we go, honey, and then we put fresh and local up the top. There we go, now I've got plenty on my brush. Fresh, local. And I like how it's curved, almost to the correct curve of the box, which is nice. So there's, in my box set that I got, and again, I got this from a thrift store. It was a good find. It was a couple of dollars for just this little box that I thought was just one box, but I opened it and it kept opening, and there's a bunch of nesting boxes in there. So 5 in total, and all different sizes. So that's great. I think I just got a tiny little dab of black paint there, which I think I'll wait till that dries and just sand that little area with a tiny bit of sandpaper. Also, my bee kind of came over the side here, so I can just sand that off really gently, and it shouldn't remove any of that white paint from underneath. So that'll be perfect. And guys, we have run out of time, so we're about ready to pick winners. And so Essential Stencil will pick some lucky winners from our, I just realized I did this back to front. You can use that anyway, but the words were back to front when I did it. You can stay tuned because we're about to pick some winners. Don't go anywhere. And I have shown you today the January's 2025 Stencil of the Month set, plus the winter transfers. So if you did miss anything, please go ahead and catch the replay. I'm just going to point you up here so you can see. Oh, here we go. So I can see your, oh, there's a big thumbs up there from Marcella. Oh, I've got my, it's about to fall down on me. I'll show you again what we did today. And we are going to check that the winners there. Janet, thank you so much for sprinkling. Now you can share our live anytime, and that will let other people know that we are here. You can also share my code to your friends and family. I Restore Stuff is the code that they will need to use, and you can get these percentages off, or a free month on the basic plan for stencilofthemonthclub.com, or you can get 10% off at Essential Stencil, save 10%. On the beautiful transfers. So here's the transfer that we used today from the winter transfer set, and we used this Home Sweet Home from the Stencil of the Month Club set. So we did a few different things today. And I just wanted to show you also our Buzzy Bee from the same set, gorgeous little bee in a wreath. And we did talk about how you could just, I want to say delete, mask off the bee and just use the wreath, add a few little red dots and you've got yourself a cute little Christmas gift box. So, or, you know, add anything. You could add little red hearts and it could be ready for Valentine's Day box, or add a heart in the middle and you've got a Valentine's wreath. So many different uses for the wreath and the wreaths that you'll find in this Stencil of the Month Club set for next month. So if you're not in the club yet, jump in and join and get your % offs using my code IRestoreStuff. Here's another little project that I showed you earlier, using one of the winter transfers and just a little bit of ribbon on this little gift box. So a few different sizes there, and of course our fresh local honey and the bees coming off the side of our box right there. So I hope you enjoyed that. Let's see, we've got some winners to announce, and our winners today are Julie, Emerson, Deb, Sharon, and Sherry Miller. So Julie, Deb, and Sherry, congratulations. And I hope you all have a fabulous Christmas. I will not see you next week. Essential Stencil will not have a live on Christmas Day. So I usually go live on a Wednesday night, but that is Christmas next week. And you should be having fun with your family, not scrolling social media. So I hope you all have a wonderful Christmas with family and friends, whoever you're celebrating with this year. And I'll see you again after Christmas. Have a wonderful Christmas. Happy New Year. Bye.